guys, we're going to kind of forget about it over time, but countless weeks after weeks, video after video, I'm getting requests to do a full day of vegan eating, and it's not just the comments. I'm getting emails from people.
Travis, if you're watching this, literally go and do the challenge. I challenge you right now. If you say no, we're friends off.
Well, that cannot happen. What is up, everybody? Thank you so much for clicking on the video. Without a doubt, this has been the most requested video that I do ever since I started this channel. For years now, I've been getting comments and messages from people saying I need to do a full day of vegan eating. So today is the day. I will be accepting Valentina's challenge, and I will also be making some additional rules to make this even harder. So one thing I'm not going to be doing is going out and buying food. Like, I would love to just go to Chipotle and get a vegetarian bowl because that's the easy thing to do, but it doesn't add a whole lot of value for you guys. So I am going to make sure I make everything in this kitchen, and also I want to do a high protein, relatively low carb day of eating just my regular cutting macros, because I know that's what I hear a lot of complaints about vegan eating. It's hard to get high protein foods. So we're going to dispel that myth. Now, the other thing I want to mention, because a lot of you know that PES just released a vegan protein powder, and some of you are going to be like, that's the only reason you're doing this video. Guys, I'm not here to try to trick you or BS you. This is a huge motivating factor for doing this video. They just released a new vegan product. I have a lot of vegan viewers. I want to make sure you guys are aware of it. I'm not trying to be sneaky here. This is no subliminal marketing. This is very obvious marketing. And I was too impatient to wait till today to try this for the first time. I got these in about a week ago, so I'm going to flash back to my initial taste test. Welcome to a random Monday night, my friends, where I sit around and test out vegan protein. As you can see here, PES has released their vegan product. You guys have asked me so many times about this. When is it coming out? I had no idea it was coming out, so this is a surprise to me, but I think it's gonna be good for a lot of different people. Although, I will say, I've tried out another vegan protein before, and it was so bad. I mean, my friend who's vegan couldn't even drink it, and I was like, this cannot be a good representation of what is available. So I'm hoping that PES is not going to let me down. I just mixed it up with some water here, so we'll see how it is. Okay, that's not bad. That's definitely drinkable, unlike the other one that I tried. So this is the chocolate bliss. They also have the vanilla indulgence. Okay, so if you're vegan, I would say this is a great option for you. In my opinion, it is not as good as the regular select protein, the typical, you know, the vanilla snickerdoodle peanut butter cup, but I could definitely stand to drink this. Another thing to mention is, even if you're not vegan, maybe you just don't like dairy products. I know for a lot of people it breaks them out. It's just bad for their skin. I get pretty lucky because I don't have any issues, but if that's the case, I would say try it out. I'll give you guys a taste test of the vanilla eventually, but like I said, compared to what I have tried, this is hands down a much better option for you. So I'm gonna finish this off, and I'll let you guys return to the full day of eating. So luckily, my experience with this was a lot better than the first time I tried vegan protein powder. And if you're not vegan and you don't have any issues with dairy, I'm not trying to push you to buy this one. I prefer the regular select protein powder. There's no doubt about that. But I know that there are a lot of people that are in the market for a vegan product, and this is a great alternative for you compared to what I have tried. I know that I rely on protein powder very heavily. I drink at least 2 to 3 scoops a day, but that's just me. I know some people don't need it all, and that's perfectly fine. So I'm gonna give the vanilla a try now. I don't know if I'm gonna try to make, yeah, I'm gonna do the same thing. So actually, now that I think about it, my typical pre-workout meal besides this is vegan, which is pretty cool. So I'm gonna make this poverty milk, and then I'll make my puff wheat cereal. You know, it's a very complex recipe, and apple, banana. And the one thing that I've been warned about, and I'll warn you guys about as well in case you're trying it for the first time, is that you can't compare vegan products to regular products. It's just different ingredients. So if you're expecting it to taste one way, it's just not going to, and the texture is gonna be a little bit different as well. So just something to keep in mind. Now you guys know what comes next. If you're interested in trying this, you can always save 30%. Or if you're watching this on Sunday, July 31st, you can actually pick up the 27 serving for $19.99 at the insider price using my name, Travis, at checkout. Now again, let me reiterate, if you're not vegan, if you don't have any issues with dairy, I'm not telling you to go out and buy this. But again, I'm kind of contradicting myself because you cannot compare the two. They're two completely different products. So that's my 2 cents on it. I promise the plugs are over. I gotta go to the gym, even though I'm a little bit injured right now, which I won't talk about in this video because you guys probably don't care about that. But probably just have to go and stretch, which kind of sucks. But you know, this video is interesting because it has the potential to piss every group off. The people that eat vegan might get mad because they'll see that I do this for a day and they're like, well, why don't you just do this all the time? Or what if I eat something that isn't actually vegan, which is possible. I'm Googling all this, but believe it or not, Google can be wrong. So there's that. And then the people that aren't vegans are gonna be like, oh my gosh, you're just selling out. You're just doing what everyone else is doing right now, the popular thing. You need to start being yourself. But the real rich homies are going to realize that it is not that serious and it's just a YouTube video. So to start out the food, I'm gonna be stealing a recipe from one of my good vegan friends who I'm sure all of you guys already know, Brian Turner. I made this a few months back and was surprised how good that it was. Tofu is very, very intimidating. It's very sketchy to me. You look at it, it smells bad, it looks like rubber. But if you make it like this, I can almost guarantee you that it will come out well. So I will link his video down below. But all you have to do essentially is take it out of the pack and then wipe it down with some paper towels. You really want to press down and get all that water out of there. Then you can just slice it up. I try to make pretty thin slices so they'll come out a little bit crispy. I'm going to put them in a pan with a little bit of oil. I'm pretty sure you could use any oil, but I'm going to be using coconut. And then the key is to just toss them around a little bit and then finish them off with a little bit of teriyaki sauce. I know that it adds a few grams of extra carbs, but trust me, it will be worth it. So that is how we're going to start out with the tofu. So the next vegan experiment is gonna be this Beyond Beef. I've actually heard really good things about this. Let's open it up. It looks, I mean, somewhat like beef. I don't know if you guys can see in there. It's like a mix between, looks like a mix between like cat food and sausage, honestly. It smells really good, surprisingly, which I was not expecting at all. So we're gonna cook up a few servings of this as well, just in the skillet, no seasonings, anything like that, and we'll give it a go. We're gonna make pasta out of this Beyond Beef stuff, but let me give it a try before I actually try it in the pasta because obviously you can mask it pretty well with marinara. So let's see how this stuff is. Like I said, it kind of looks like a sausage crumble. You know, it's not too bad. It doesn't have like the most flavor, but I will definitely continue eating this, especially if I can find it on sale. Okay, so let's test this stuff out. I have made this tofu before, like I said. To me, it looks like Cinnamon Toast Crunch in a way. It doesn't taste necessarily that good, but we'll see how I did. It really is pretty decent. It still has like a weird aftertaste to me. It doesn't taste like as good as like a pork chop, but I mean, it's definitely edible. Now I know I already tried the beef out for you guys and spaghetti squash I've had a million times on this channel, but just for good measure we got to taste test this as well. Oh yeah, especially with the sauce, this is delicious. So I've been getting a lot of Snapchats and tweets. Apparently I just hit 50,000 subscribers. So thank you guys. I feel like that's good karma, right? I'm making this full day of vegan eating. I'm being rewarded with 50,000 subscribers. That's unbelievable to me. I know it's small in terms of YouTube, but for me, just some random accountant guy, 50,000 people, that's pretty cool. So I appreciate that, guys. Now, that food was actually not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I will be honest, I wouldn't say it is as good as the food that I usually eat, but it probably could be if I took the time to make a few adjustments here and there or threw a few different ingredients in the mix. So, I'm going to take a break for a little bit. No more eating for a few hours. We'll come back and I'll go over why exactly I am not a vegan myself. I don't know why, but I just felt like being out here in front of my dead garden would be a good place to explain this clip. So why am I not a vegan? This might make some people mad, and the real reason is because I'm selfish. I like the foods that I eat. I don't want to have to change that. I don't want to have to think about it that much. I don't want to have to limit myself and only go certain places and only eat a very limited range of foods as opposed to what I'm used to. And that's really the reason. I like the way they taste, and that's the most honest thing that I can tell you guys. I mean, should I be more conscious of it? Yes, and I'm ignorant in that I don't want to watch the documentaries on what actually goes into the foods that I'm eating, and I'm very aware of that, and I'll be upfront and honest with anyone that asks me, and I'm not proud of that, but it's just the way that it is. And if I sat up here and said I am going to change, I would be lying to you guys, and I'm not willing to do that. So it is not the best decision I could make. I realize that, but there's a lot of different things I wish I was doing better for the world, and hopefully one day I will get over myself and make better decisions. But at this time, I do not see myself going vegan ever, really. But maybe I'll be able to implement some more of these types of foods now that I've gotten a taste for them, and as you've seen, I've liked a few of them, so it wouldn't be a bad idea to at least try to slowly convert into some of those options on a day-to-day basis maybe. So that's where I stand on that, but let's get to some more food. Chicken strips, I'm skeptical. Corn burgers, I'm skeptical. Earth Balance vegan puffs, I can see this being good. Vegetarian refried beans, pretty sure I've had these before. Can't tell much of a difference. Okay, it passes the smell test. So while we're waiting for all the food to cook up, let's try these vegan puff things. Those are actually really good. It almost tastes like a less cheesy version of a cheesy puff. I could definitely eat these all day.
Chilling on the rooftop.
I have to say, this looks like the driest hamburger I've ever seen in my life. Chicken doesn't look all that good. And then the refried beans, I feel like they'll just be average. So let's try the chicken first, or the whatever you call it.
Shots. See your boy hit stars. Went to school lot, but not as much as he spit bars. Split lives. Not in.
It really isn't that bad. It's not as good as regular chicken to me, but it's like, I feel like I keep saying this, it's edible, and really that's exceeding my expectations for a lot of these things.
Simply invested in myself.
So let's try this dry burger. Ironically, it's not dry at all. That actually has a good amount of flavor. I really like that, and a lot of this stuff is pretty processed, so it has a lot of sodium in it, which is probably what makes it taste good. But I guess you can't use that as an excuse, because a lot of non-vegan foods are processed as well, and they do the exact same things. I'm also not using a lot of condiments because I know what ketchup and mustard tastes like. I want to taste this food, so obviously if you doctor it up, it could be even better. But this thing, I think this is the most surprising food of the day because it just looks so bad coming off the grill. Oh, I know you guys are just dying to know about the refried beans. Just like regular refried beans.
So just keep that in the back of your mind. We're gonna go through it all now and do a competitor offer right now. You'd be stunned how much more I believe I'm right about this than a lot of other things that do our thing. I just want everything. All right, Liz, your turn.
So far, there haven't been any foods that have just been awful. No foods that I've had to throw away or anything like that. So that makes me think I'm playing it a little bit too safe. So once we move on to a little bit of like pre-bed dessert, we're gonna get a little bit more risky. I threw it in the oven at 375 for about 10 minutes. I'll just keep my eye on it. I'm just making this whole thing up, so I don't have a recipe to follow. But I think this is the first time in my life I'm not excited to lick the batter off the spoon. Not as bad as I thought. I mean, it's just a tofu cake. What could possibly go wrong? If you're thinking everything in the world, then we're thinking along the same lines.
She give me love like don't leave yet. I was already.
So I'm guessing that you guys are more excited for me to try this than I am. As you can see, it didn't really bake through like a cake would, nor did I really expect it to, given the ingredients. Let's just try it and get it over with.
I'ma come back. I'ma come back. You can trust that. No matter where I go, I'ma
It's-
come back.
Interesting. Sometimes you just have to get over the initial shock. I'm trying to take the bias out of it, knowing what's in here. Just ground up tofu. But okay, let's do this. What it is not. It is not disgusting. It is not inedible. It is not the best thing I've ever had. It is definitely not PS peanut butter cup mixed with Hungry Jack pancake mix, but we're gonna get through it. We are finally done with the video. I know it's been a long one. Thank you guys so much for sticking with me if you're still here. I meant to ask you this earlier when I was giving you guys my reasons for not being a vegan. I want to get your input. So if you're not a vegan, what are your reasons? And if you are, give me your reasons for that as well. I would just be interested in getting some feedback. I think it would be a useful conversation to have in the comments below if everyone can be mature enough not to argue back and forth. We don't need any more arguing on the internet. So that's it. Thank you guys so much for taking the time out of your day to watch. Seriously, you guys could have been doing anything, and you chose to spend a few minutes with me. That's pretty amazing. 50,000 subscribers, unbelievable. You guys are awesome. Please give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Please hit that thumbs up button. You made it to this point. You had to have liked something, even if it was just liking making fun of me. So please do that, guys. It helps me out a lot, and I look forward to talking to you next time.